Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of PKM Weekly, 1st of November, and let's see what's been in store for us over the past week. So first up is Obsidian, and they have a latest release. It is only for the Catalyst members at this stage, and it's version 1.10.2, and that includes a few things of renaming bases, reverting base formulas, setting in links, plugins, and improved canvas zoom. And there was a few more improvements and changes that you can see in the changelog with fixed mermaid export, fixed formula error, and a few developer things as well. So things are nicely progressing, and then we also had the mobile update, which now basically puts the mobile app on par with the desktop app version 1.10.2. Next up was a Master Obsidian in 2.5 hours. This is from Sebastian, and he presents us with a 2.5 hour free workshop on going from a complete beginner to an advanced user of Obsidian, and he touches on a significant number of things. So let me just pull that up. So yeah, just about 2.5 hours, and he goes through a number of things: why Obsidian, Obsidian vaults, getting set up, left pane, right pane, switching panes, etc., markdown syntax, basically through the full shebang of Obsidian. So if you are in doubt about what you can do with Obsidian or getting set up with Obsidian, definitely do check out this great resource from Sebastian about getting set up with Obsidian. And he does go through demonstration, real world examples, goes through his notes so that you can actually see it live rather than on a theoretical basis. So great stuff, and thank you very much. There was one that was a post from Ian, and he says how a single app became the command center for everything I learn, write, and teach. And you can see here, just about a year ago, 18 months ago, a few notes dotted around, and now a couple of days ago, or a day ago, you can see how his vault is now a fully interconnected live being. And he basically talks about how Obsidian helped him set up everything, and he goes through how he sets it up then and now, what he's come across, what he's done, how he's tweaked it, and the reasons why. So definitely worthwhile checking this one out. It is unfortunately just a member only story, but hopefully for the medium readers out there you can have a look. And there was a couple of interesting posts as well on Reddit, an alternative to Obsidian self-hosted. And this one goes through, is there an alternative? I'm looking for an Obsidian alternative with various different things. He's trying Trillium out, or they are trying Trillium out, and basically just goes through of asking, is there an alternative? And people do say just use Thing with Obsidian, and various different other comments. So if you are in the same boat, definitely do check this one out in seeing what might be possible for you. Another one was, I used Obsidian to manage a client project. Here is what I learned. And software developer, and he built a software project for a client, and he goes through, use Canvas, use ExcaliDraw, properties, backlinks, bases, plugins. You don't need plugins, just a few that come in handy, formulas, etc., etc. So he just goes through and just explains the process that OP used. So some great stuff on Obsidian this week. Capacities, there was just one that I could find. It was an update. It was Capacities and Sublime. So Beth and Rekha, a couple of the team members of the Capacities team, they recently filmed a video where they go through their personal Capacities workflow in conjunction with Sublime and how they get the best out of both apps. So if you're interested,
hi everyone,
in seeing
welcome back to the
Capacities
The Knowledge Works
how they work
feature is so good.
Together, definitely check out this 20 or so minute video, and you can see how they've got everything set up and if there's anything that you can take from it. That was it for Capacities. Tana, there's a few updates in the past week. So full page width. So now finally they've rolled out a setting that you can have set default content to full page width. So basically it takes up the whole real estate rather than just a single or a smaller piece of the screen or your notes or the app. So you can now see it across the board and apply it to everything as default. There was a session from Theo, I believe it was, where the Tana team looked at the fundamentals, super tags, and fields. So the recording is now done and available that you can check out through the Tana website. It was Theo and Matt, and you can see here.
Okay, hey,
and they go through
probably know the linear
fields, how to get it set up, what you can do with them.
Minimize that at the moment.
And tips to get the most out of them. So definitely worthwhile checking that one out. And then there was a campus ambassador position. So if you want to help shape the next generation of knowledge management and you want behind the scenes access to the growing startup, that is Tana. Definitely do check out this post because they're looking for students who genuinely love Tana and they can basically encourage and get other people liking it as well through school and through campuses. So if you are interested, so it's an opportunity for students who are authentically excited about Tana and want to be part of something impactful. Definitely do email student@tana.inc to learn more about the program structure and how you can get involved. So definitely something worthwhile coming up if you are a student and you love Tana. Logseq, missed out this one last week because it wasn't much of an update, but this week there is a few things that have been happening. So once again, thanks to Danzu for keeping the updates on Logseq alive, and he's posted that there's been a few updates in the changelog, so ClojureScript plugin SDK. So plugin developers can now build plugins using ClojureScript in addition to JavaScript. So basically you can unlock the full language of Logseq, enhance plugin APIs and data validation and integrity. So a comprehensive database validation system now runs and just makes things a lot more resilient and reliable. And there's a few more other things that have been happening. So definitely do check out this post by Danzu where he goes through the more detail and the new features and enhancements and fixes that have been applied to Logseq over the past couple of weeks or so. So that was that from the updates. There was also an update of Logseq CLI command line interface that's been released with version 0.3.0, and it now includes an MCP server command. And if you want to check out a brief demo of how it works, there was a post on Reddit about I'm missing Logseq so much. So throughout my career, I've used practically every single note system, note-taking app available. I've never settled so long on Logseq, but recently bit bored and tired of the lack of updates, the bad sync experience, the bad mobile experience, and basically a little bit of lack of direction from the team. So Mrs. Logseq, because he says it was such a good tool, the tag system interlinked with bullet levels, scrolling experience, both journals and incoming links. It just made things so much easier to use than when they compare it to Obsidian, for example. And you can see the full post here with various different other responses from users of what they've done. Some say it works, just keep it as it is. Others are also a little bit frustrated and are looking for alternatives. So worthwhile having a look at that one. Heptabase, they've had another couple of big releases this week, and first one is an AI-powered suggestion for related cards. So you can open the card library in the right-hand sidebar, select the AI filter, and see cards related to your current selected card. Just basically makes things a lot more intuitive, and you can see different concepts through the use of AI. And it is built with privacy first, so it is self-hosted on their own servers, and it never leaves their servers to go to high-tech service providers. So the notes kind of remain fully yours. And the next one, which I thought was even more interesting, was a web tab. So you can now search Google, YouTube, or any other website directly within Heptabase and take notes side by side. So just a quick demo on this one. Click on the search. Mapping, you can use various different searches. So this just opened Google, goes to Anthropic website. Skip a little bit. Opens a sidebar, which is his notes for today. Highlights a few things. Copies and pastes it as a note to today's daily note, and then does whatever he needs to do. And you can then also use the AI card or the suggested feature with AI to see what other cards may be related to the same topic. So great updates from the Heptabase team. Griply, they have now a new video, so an introduction to Griply. So if you want to get a high-level overview of how you can use Griply to get the best out of it, definitely do check this video out. Looks at life areas and visions, goals, habits, goal timeline, upcoming planning, daily planner, and insight tracks. So you can get the most out of the all-in-one goal planner and habit tracker. I use it all the while. Definitely a great app, not sponsored, not affiliated link or anything. Click on it if you want, but I definitely think worthwhile checking out if you want to get your all-in-one planner and habit tracker in an easy-to-use interface with great features. So well done to the Griply team on that one. Looking forward to the new updates, and especially an Android app at some point, hopefully. but we shall leave that to another day. Anytype, they've released iOS version 0.41, and that includes unlimited pin spaces, so they've removed the limit. You can now pin as many spaces as you want, persistent invite button in chat, redesigned empty spaces for chats, seal and space editors, so a few other things as well that you can see in the changelog. Affine, not so much of an update, but more of a trying to rebuild a little bit of interest in the Affine product, it seems. So Let's Go Global call for community moderators. So they're looking for people that are fans of Affine, and they want to launch new channels in French, German and Japanese, or even the English one, just to improve that one. So if you are and want to be a moderator, definitely do get in touch with Affine in the Discord so that you can be considered as part of the team. And another one was the official Affine creator. So if you want to create videos and tutorials of Affine or how you use it, definitely do that and just DM the team on Discord with details of your video, and they'll be sure to publish it on all of their platforms, giving you full credit and exposures. So I guess it's a win-win for both. You create it, they use it, and you get the credit for it. So some great stuff on Affine. Just would like a little bit more updates to the app as well, but I'm sure that'll be coming in due course. Next up was Remnote, who have quietly, I think, I didn't see really many people mentioning it, have released a drawing/handwriting tool. It is still in beta, but there is a lot of good stuff being implemented. And on that note, an OP posted, Remnote is pretty much amazing now. The major thing that was missing was the adding drawings on PDFs, and they've managed to implement that fairly well, which has made the feature basically superseded OneNote and Anki, and has rendered them a little bit useless. So to get more details on the drawing feature, definitely do check this out in the Discord, because there's a few examples of what they're doing, how they're implementing it, and the upcoming features that they're going to try and do. So some great stuff from Remnote, who is kind of building in silence. So it'd be nice to see a little bit more fanfare about it, because there's some great stuff in that app. And last but not least is Thymer. So we are slowly getting there. So now there's about 16 tasks left, and you can see a little bit of a video here, demonstration of what's going on. So see different things, how it changes. You can see the tasks, the outline style, the full form style. Clicking different headings brings you different pages. So we are slowly getting there. 16 tasks left, so who knows when that's going to be released. And for the Hawkeye, and thank you very much for someone in Reddit for pointing it out, at some point it does say that there's an upgrade to Pro button, and the team have responded with, it's kind of a placeholder, doesn't do anything for now, but we're thinking of a paid plan for commercial use and maybe an optional supporter plan with extras for personal, but it is all to be decided for now. And with the release getting closer and closer, do be sure to check out the unofficial Discord and Reddit communities, because I'm sure there'll be a lot more fanfare and a lot more chat once Thymer is eventually released. So that was it for this week. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next week. Bye.